Hi, this is Kevin Coyne with Tech Ranch. Hey, I'm here to talk to you today again about our Defining Entrepreneurship series. Today, what I want to talk to you about is what makes a successful entrepreneur. Now, there's a lot of stereotypes, and some of them might be true, and some of them I actually don't think are true. Like, this guy, this, do you have to be this arrogant beast to actually be a successful entrepreneur? You don't. In fact, you don't have to be a guy. You don't have to be you can be the type of entrepreneurs that are out there that are being successful are very diverse. Now, anyone can be an entrepreneur. I actually really believe that. Not everyone will, and there's a set of reasons for this. But the main thing that I want to hear out of this is that I truly believe that anyone, if they really make an earnest choice towards being an entrepreneur, they can actually get there and be a successful entrepreneur. What does it take? It actually takes two things, and I'm going to talk about one in depth today, and then we'll save the next one for a future time to talk. But the first is awareness of self. One of the biggest issues is that entrepreneurs can't see themselves in action. The second part is being connected. And I don't mean just being connected to some old boys network, but also being connected in a certain way. In a future talk, we'll actually talk about how to get connected in a community to be a successful entrepreneur that way, and how you can actually leverage that for business success. But what I really want to talk about is give you a couple ideas about what to do in knowing thyself. That is, the best entrepreneurs in the world, whether you read about Steve Jobs or Richard Branson or any of the entrepreneurs that we might hear out there, I think one of the things that set him or her apart was how well they knew themselves. And part of this is that a lot of people fail because they're blind. They're blind to seeing their own actions. As an example, the best athletes in the world all have coaches. And what's the difference between, the athlete that's at this level versus the athlete that's at this level, with natural performance versus someone that really performs on a world stage? It's because they have a coach and they have other ways of overcoming their blindness. Now, one of the ways that we actually handle this at the Tech Ranch in our programs is there's a lot of different tools we use, but one of the tools, or two of the tools I'm going to point to are actually these two. One of them is a profiling tool called Myers-Briggs. And this is kind of a test that you take, and it's not about getting a right score or a wrong score, but about seeing something more about yourself. I'll talk about that, and also talk about the Strength Finders. Strength Finders is, again, another profiling tool. It takes about 15 minutes to complete. And we like both of these tools because they're low cost, but they give you a lot of information back. In the case of the Myers-Briggs, I am an ENFP. Now, it takes a long time to explain all the different parts of the Myers-Briggs model. It's fairly intricate. But what's interesting about this says that I'm an extrovert, that I'm an intuitive. The E stands for extrovert. The N stands for intuitive, meaning I make a lot of decisions from my gut. The F says that I actually make a lot of my decision choices for how I look at people versus just things. And the P says I actually like to make decisions and roll with the punches. I like to plan things kind of last minute, whereas a person with a J at the opposite end of the spectrum is someone that likes to plan things out continuously and all that sort of stuff. So what I used to do, though, in my early career, even though I was financially successful, I did all sorts of great things, but once the problem was that I wasn't very happy as an entrepreneur in the 90s. I mean, this face was on the cover of Computer World magazine, but not very happy about everything that was happening, just because, financially successful, but limited in how I really felt about what was happening. I took Myers-Briggs, and I actually had a professional work with me to actually talk about, hey, wait, because you're an ENFP, you should be working with people. You shouldn't just be working behind a computer. I was this gifted CTO, but not very happy about it. So I still work with technology now, but I work with people. That's one of the things you can discover through Myers-Briggs. And the second example on Strength Finders, now Strength Finders has this list of almost 40 different strengths. You take this test and it says, hey, what are your top 5? Now in my case, the example I'm going to give, I learned something on each one of these 5. I'm going to tell you the example on the first one. I actually thought everyone in the world, was like to take action quickly. Like, as an example, my number one strength is I like to take action very quickly as an entrepreneur. In fact, some people are ready, aim, fire. Some people are ready, fire, aim. I am fire, 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 fire. Now, in some of my previous startups, that was a problem because a lot of times I didn't realize that the whole world couldn't see the way I did. That here's the opportunity. Let's just attack it. Let's attack it. Let's attack it. And so a lot of what I needed to learn how to do in the business that I have now is, yes, I'll take action, but I'll put around me the right people. When you take this profile, you're actually going to learn 5 other strengths, and it's going to tell you, hey, based on these 5 strengths, what do you need to do to put around yourself? Who is it you need to organize around yourself? You're not going to have actionable necessarily as your first strength, but in my case, I learned something about that. I overcame a little bit of my blindness, stuff that I can't see. It's because of this that you can increase your chance of success by just knowing more about yourself. And one of the fundamental things that we do at the Tech Ranch, both for our team internally as well as our entrepreneurs that we work with, is we want to help give you the greatest chance of success as possible. One of the ways of doing that is knowing thyself. So with that, look into how you can discover more about yourself. Get involved in one of our programs, look at Venture Forth or something like that, and where you actually take these profiles with us, or do them on your own, and just look self-reflectively. How can I actually learn what I need to learn so that I can actually be a more successful entrepreneur and have a greater chance at success? And with that, we'll bring this video to close. We'll come back in the future with more Defining Entrepreneurship. Thank you.